When our men and women in the military return home, often their scars run more than skin deep. Many suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. As we recognize National PTSD Awareness Month, retired U.S. Army Captain Kyle Butters and Courtney Janes, the executive director of Infinite Hero, join us this morning via Zoom. Good morning to both of you. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
So,
Good morning.
Good morning. May I speak? I'd like to start with you, if we could, Captain. Would you tell us a little bit about your service and how it led to your battle with PTSD?
So I served in the Army for just under 9 years, from 2009 to 2017. I deployed twice, once to Afghanistan and once to Operation Inherent Resolve. And unfortunately, as an outcome of my deployments, I did come down with PTSD and have had it since then.
And there were two soldiers that you served with during your first deployment in Afghanistan who you lost to suicide? Is that right?
Yeah, that's true. I had two that I lost to suicide following the deployment. Obviously, we lost other soldiers during the deployment, but I think when you lose soldiers to suicide, it's a little bit of a different situation than when you lose them in combat, where you expect to have those losses.
Yeah. Do you find did you find it hard to talk about what you were feeling and what you were experiencing?
Yeah, I think it's always hard to talk about it. It's not a comfortable thing to talk about. It's hard to explain. Not a lot of people have an understanding of PTSD, and the understanding they think they have of it a lot of times isn't accurate. The hard part with PTSD is it's so individualized that it affects each individual on a personal level. So it's hard to explain to people the way it affects you.
I'd like to bring Courtney into the conversation. Courtney, would you explain Infinite Hero and how it connects members of the military, people, of course, like Kyle and their families, with programs for service-related injuries?
Of course. So as an organization, our mission really focuses on combating the most difficult frontline issues, mental and physical, that are facing our military heroes and their families. We are dedicated to connecting those military veterans and military family members with innovative and effective treatments. And since 2012, since the foundation came to be, we've been able to do that for over 56,000 of these individuals. With June being PTSD Awareness Month, this gives us an opportunity to shine a light on an issue that I think, whether or not we know it, we all know somebody who's dealing with PTSD. And this is the heart of one of the pillars that we focus on as an organization year round.
With our viewers who are watching here this morning, we're a military town. We love our military men and women. Are there some warning signs that you could share with family members who, they in their gut, they keep saying, gosh, something's just not right with their loved one, but they're not exactly sure what it is? Are there some warning signs you could share with them?
I think I'll answer this one. Like I was alluding to earlier, PTSD is so individualized and affects everyone differently, but there are some things to be on the lookout for. Obviously, step one is a person who experiences trauma. And obviously that's a very high rate among military service members. Beyond that, members of the military experience PTSD at about a 30% rate, going back to the Desert Storm era until now. And some of the most common warning signs or symptoms of PTSD are flashbacks, where a person kind of relives the event, whether they're awake or they're asleep, whether it's nightmares or what I like to call daymares that happen when you're awake. Social isolation, social disconnection, inability to maybe control some of their stronger emotions, especially when they're, faced with what's commonly called triggers, so reminders of the event or what they've gone through. PTSD is tricky. It looks like depression. It looks like anxiety. It looks like panic attacks. It looks like a lot of different things. So as far as warning signs, beyond those basics of the flashbacks and the nightmares, I think the most important thing is to ask the individual person, what are they experiencing?
And then feeling that you have the strength, of course, then to bring in someone who is an expert and can help, and while they might seem like a stranger, to include them in the conversation. Captain, thank you for your service. Thank you for sharing this with us. I know you're helping military men and women who are watching this morning. I'd like to finish with Courtney, because I'd like for Courtney to explain, for those who are watching and who are struggling, how can they reach out then to Infinite Hero, Courtney?
Yes, I would encourage anybody who might be facing any of these type of challenges, especially those that Kyle shared, to just visit our website. There's a lot of resources there. And if you just kind of click on that button, you can connect directly with us. Those emails that we receive are responded to within a day at the most. We're always happy to help connect people with programs that could potentially change their life and get them the help that they need. As an organization, we're committed to doing that. And we hope that you'll reach out to us if that's something that you need some help with right now.
Courtney Janes, the Executive Director of Infinite Hero, and U.S. Army Captain Kyle Butters, thank you for your time this morning. We appreciate both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Anytime, anytime. We'd love to help.